Happy holidays, folks. Back with another holiday reaction. And we're going to listen to one from Tori Amos for the first time. Indeed, I've been deep diving on Tori for, I don't know, a year and a half, something like that now. And it was recently indicated to me, I think by a couple different people, that she had a Christmas album called Midwinter Graces, which is from 2009. So I went poking around online, I was able to find it. So, yes, we're going to listen to the final track on the album, actually, that's where I wanted to start, which is Silent Night, though it's written in the German, like the original Austrian carol, and then parenthetically, it's called Silent Night, Holy Night. So I don't know if that means Tori's going to be singing in German. Maybe it'll be a bilingual holiday song performance. Either way, I enjoyed that she called it by its original name. And yes, I'm keen to hear what Tori will do. Now, I looked in the track listing when I selected which song I was going to react to, and I noticed there's a few where there are phrases that come from certain songs. Like there's one, Comfort and Joy, which is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, but it's called Comfort and Joy. And there's one that's like Holly, Ivy, and Rose. Now, obviously, the holly and the ivy is another, like 19th century or more traditional Christmas carol, but it seems like a lot of these, or a lot of the songs on this album are adapted, or maybe they've been modernized or otherwise rendered by Tori more specifically, more originally, even though they're based off of older carols. So that seems to be the case, but in this case, it is called, as I said, by the German title for Silent Night, and then parenthetically Silent Night, Holy Night. So let's give it a listen. This is Tori Amos and her version of Silent Night, Holy Night from her Midwinter Graces album 2009.
Holy night, all is
So not a bilingual version, but definitely a very Tori version, meaning I've heard a few albums of hers now. I think I'm going through the third album. What was it? It was Little Earthquakes, excuse me, and then Under the Pink, and then I'm currently going through Boys for Pele. I think that's right. So I've heard enough to know that she just has her own style. Not only are a lot of her songs dominated by her piano and her vocals, even if some of them have other instrumental elements, and this is certainly one where it's her piano and it's her voice, but her singing it's very kind of intimate, and it's not overly produced, meaning you often hear her breathing or lip sounds and some of the things that maybe other people would want to polish and sort of master, or again like post recording, add a lot of production to, but she just is kind of unvarnished in her vocals, and that comes across here. And it's almost like this, it's sung, it's melodic, but it's almost like she's speak singing. Like, again, she is formally singing, and yet it feels like her rhythms are more like speech, if that makes sense. And there's some moments where she just kind of says a word, and like right at the end, the piece, it was very like simply and almost like whispered. So the vocal performance is like quintessential Tori, and I think is a very enjoyable take for this carol in particular, which kind of has this tranquil night of Christmas, and the soft, tender atmosphere. I think it works really well, and the way the melody sounds on her keyboard is again less like a lot of other versions, which has this like tend to have this like very rich kind of melodic sound, and here it's more like ethereal and artful. So yeah, it's very Tori, and yet all things considered, it's a pretty straightaway version of the carol, which, as I said, there's other songs on this album which seemingly are more adapted and rendered specifically or uniquely by Tori. So yeah, I may only get to like one more of these, because again, I have like a few days left for holiday reactions. I keep mentioning maybe the 2nd or 3rd of January I'll do my last little batch of holiday reactions, and then won't be until probably mid-November of 2026 when we return for the next year of holiday reactions. So yeah, probably only going to get to maybe one more song on this, but that means we'll have many of the songs on this album for the coming holiday period. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and again, I'm very fond of this carol. I've become very fond of Tori's music and her singing, so it was a nice synthesis in that regard, and it did not disappoint. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.